So y'all come on in. Let's talk about it. Marley Lou is making noise. Her mama gave her a food container, and she is not going to let it go. So she going to make noise and play. And I'm going to let her do that until she gets tired. It's be time for her to take a nap soon, hopefully. But let's chat. Happy Sunday, everybody. Come on in, come on in, come on in. Come on in. Good morning, good afternoon, good day. Happy Sunday to you all. I'm waiting for you guys to come on in. Come on in. I'm just watching television, as y'all can see. Come on in, honey. Come on in. Come on in. Came on in. Okay? Come on in, y'all. I just want to talk about it. I've been seeing people give their opinions on situations that they really have nothing to do with and really trying to distort the situation. Y'all come on in. Y'all, Mama V is taking her nap. I couldn't go to church today because girl, she was up today, sweetie. She was up. I'm talking about up, up, up. So she had her breakfast and she had some of her medicine. She didn't take all of it because she didn't want to. So I'll just give it to her. I'm going to let her take a little nap and then I'll wake her up a little bit later. But I'm so glad she's taking a nap. Thank y'all for the blue hearts. Y'all come on in and let's talk about it. I want to hear you all's perspectives because I am not a parent, but I'm going to tell you all my role in the family, and then you all can tell me your perspective. So y'all come on in, come on in. We got 12 people in the building, and I know y'all can hit that like button. So go ahead and let's let these likes match up. So my mods are in the building. Thank y'all so much. Leslie is here. Thank you so much. Catrice is here. Thank you so much. I know y'all have had a busy weekend, but I just want to chit chat and talk about what I see going on these streets, y'all. And I know it's Sunday. What's up, Chi-Town? How you doing? Good morning, girl. Good morning. Y'all make sure y'all hit that like button. And let's talk about it, y'all. Let's talk about these mother, daughter, father, son. I mean, not father, son, but these parental relationships as kids get older. Let's talk about it, y'all. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. How do y'all, I mean, it's like, first of all, nobody knows what's going on in anybody's home, right? And at the same time, when your kids grow up, you can teach them and everything, but being a single mother, from my perspective, okay, I know you got to go back to work. From my perspective, seeing, because I have a lot of single mothers in my family, and y'all, it was hard, you know what I'm saying, for them to work full time and then have to provide for the kids, pick up the kids, do all this stuff for the kids. It was just so hard. And as an aunt, my thing was to try to stay out of the business between the mother and the father, okay? Because I had to learn early on that was not my lane, okay? My lane as the aunt was to help pick up, to relieve some of the stress of maybe, you know, some of the school clothes, to take the kids off their hands, to give them a break, you know what I'm saying? Because I didn't want to become the mother's enemy, and I didn't want to become the father's enemy either. So that was my perspective as an auntie. As you grow up as a child, you're going to start to insert your independence, you know what I'm saying, with your parents. So you're going to bump heads. But I'm going to tell y'all something. Parents and kids, they will bump heads one today, and then tomorrow they'll be best friends. And so people have to stay out of it. You don't need to poke the bear when it comes to a mother and her children because they have a close bond. And I just really hate what I'm seeing, like I know people have their perspectives. I know people have their opinions. They're like a-holes. But at the same time, look, if you don't know everything that's going on, you may have to just sit back and watch. That's my opinion. That is my opinion. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times people fall out because their child does choose, in their opinion, the wrong mate. And it can cause some real friction. Real friction. Communication is key, and it's hard, and it's easy to be said, but it's harder to be done. It's much harder to be done because once you, and especially if they're not out the house, if they still need you, but they want to run it their way, but yet they don't want to take your advice, that's hard because then they may have children. So I don't know all of the advice. I don't know how to make it right. But as a family member and as an auntie, because I don't have children, as an aunt, I always stayed in my lane. I learned that the hard way as a young auntie coming in, to stay in my lane. And when I started staying in my lane, things would work out. You see, I started to pray and then stay in my lane. Because as soon as family get into it and this person take this side and that person take that side, they can't work it out. You see what I'm saying? And, I don't want to see people, you've been out the loop this weekend celebrating your first granddaughter's graduation from college and taking a little time peeking in. Oh, congratulations, the college grad. Congratulations. Oh, I'm just talking about adult relationships, like when your children grow up as adults, how sometimes you can have complex relationships with your parents or vice versa. That's what I'm talking about. Because a situation came up and people are kind of running with it. And I want to bring some common sense to the situation. You see what I'm saying? Like, nobody should take sides, because I could see it if this woman's children was, jailbirds and had a whole bunch of kids and, all this kind of stuff. Now, we are talking about someone who pretty much has raised, I know you are tired. I know you are tired. We're talking about someone who has 2 children who are college grads, pretty much. And then you have one that's working and a productive citizen. You know what I'm saying? So you can't sit up here and say that the person has been a total bad parent. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to say this. Everybody makes mistakes when it comes to being a single parent. Everybody makes mistakes. So those women who have been through it, who have raised kids on their own and scuffle, a lot of times they're just telling you the mistakes that they have made, or they're telling you things to avoid. You see what I'm saying? It's hard to be everything for everybody. Like, a lot of you all have, your children or your grandchildren who have graduated from college. I'm sure you look back now and you're like, wow, I should have done this. I should have done that. I should have done this. I should have done that. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. And, I hate to see people trying to take sides and trying to pit kids against the mother, because one thing about it, when you stop that, Marlon, stop. That's mommy's, that's not yours. When you can raise them where you can get them through college and they can start to try to get on their own, you want to try to relax a little bit, but then you have other things to worry about. You do worry about who they date, You do worry about even if they could be the issue in date. I mean, there's just so many things as a parent. You never stop worrying. You never stop having concerns. You know what I'm saying? And on top of that, as a woman, you got your health. If your parents are still around, you got their health. Then you got grandkids to worry about. Like, ladies, how do you balance it all? You see what I'm saying? And well, now that we have YouTube, some people have success in certain areas of parenting. They give advice. Some people who they see going wrong, they're going to give their advice. And it's up to you to take it, because a lot of times they may not deliver it in the way that you would like it to be delivered. But when you think about it, a lot of times it's great advice, y'all. It's great advice. And we got to remember, y'all, kids are totally different now. They're totally different now. They have all of this technology now. And it's very, very hard because, you know, screen time. Should they be on screen time? Should they be off screen time? Then you got to try to vet their friends. Like, it's a 24/7 job. And I'm telling you, my hats are off to the people, especially the women who do it by themselves without help. And let me say this, when you raise your kids by yourself without help, and you've done it all by yourself, I can imagine you develop a very, very tough exterior. You see what I'm saying? So can't nobody tell you nothing, because you have to have gone to work, you struggled, you done this, you done that. And when you carry that weight for so long, you develop a tough exterior. Okay? And so a lot of times you're tired, you're frustrated. You may not be so willing to listen all the time either. You know what I'm saying? So, but what I want to say is this. This is my point. It's a lot of aunties and uncles, play aunties. First of all, your role is very, very crucial, because you have to be the neutral person. You have to be the level-headed person. You have to be able to communicate with the parent and say, okay, y'all need a timeout. Y'all need to go in your neutral corners, then come back and talk about it. See what I'm saying? Because what you don't want to do is try to pit one against the other. You see what I'm saying? Like, I see people, you know, with their commentary now. You know what I'm saying? And I know pretty much it's because, well, I don't like this person, so now it's my time to get my lick back. But let's just be honest. If you've taken a person who has taken an impossible, hopeless situation, and when I say hopeless, I mean you're single, you're out there working, you're raising your kids, you're trying to provide a place here and a place there, back and forth, right? If you are able to take that situation and get them through school, some make it, some don't, okay? But if you're able to get most of them through school and safe, honey, kudos to you, okay? And we all gonna, look, you gonna make mistakes. Listen, I can remember now. See, now I can talk about it. Now I can tell about it, because I've gotten through a lot of that with my mom. I remember us butting heads, y'all, because first of all, I'm my mother's only child. So when it came to asserting my independence, we bumped heads. We bumped heads. But let me tell you something. A lot of the bumping heads was because she was really trying to stop me from making mistakes. I didn't want to listen. I wanted to do what my friends were doing. I wanted to I wanted the luxury of living rent free, free car, But yet I wanted to do what I wanted to do as I got older. See, that wasn't going to ride, folks. That wasn't going to ride. You see what I'm saying? Now, my mother and my father's way of dealing with me is totally different. My mother's a hothead. My dad gonna tell you what he gonna tell you. He gonna stand on business. He's not gonna argue with you. So it was very complex. But now looking back on it, both of them taught me some valuable lessons. My dad taught me to have a level head, to be reasonable, and my mom also taught me, you know what I'm saying, to be accountable. you know? And I didn't do it. Let me tell you something. Even in my 20s and my 30s, I was still struggling. And I still do struggle with that as well. It doesn't go away. It doesn't go away. That's the reason why I'm able to give my 2 cents or my advice on certain situations that I have had. And I still make mistakes. I still make mistakes. Even at my age of 50, I still make mistakes. I just feel like when it comes to family situations like this, people need to really, really stay in their lane. And you need to give credit where credit is due. You see what I'm saying? It's not like, and I don't know. I don't really want to go into this up to into another person's situation. But, you know, I feel like if you want to be, now I know people want to get their lick back. They definitely want to get their lick back. And that's what they're doing. Only the people who are involved in the situation know what's really going on. Okay? Only the people who live in that home know really what's going on. And only the people who are going to help, give support, give prayers, only those people are the people who need to be listened to. All these people talking, saying all this other foolishness, I'm praying that nobody is listening to that because it makes, I mean, come on now. Come on now. It just makes no sense. Say what you want to about either party. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to me. And that's what I have seen on these YouTube streets this morning. I know it's a Sunday. I know a lot of people are in church. But I just had to, pull up and give my 2 cents on there because I'm like, well, dang, I mean, people just really, really taking this and run with it, which, I guess those of us who listened to that live yesterday, we kind of knew that they would. But, I don't know. I guess, they just want to get their lick back. But I'm praying for everybody in that situation. I'm really, really praying because when you get to this stage in life where I am and when your parents get older, you realize that, wow, some things they're petty. Some things my mom may have been selfish on. Some things that I may have been selfish on. But when it gets to this part in life, to look at her now, I barely even remember that stuff now. When I look at her now, I'm glad that she did have those arguments with me. I'm glad that she did push me this way. Because to be honest with you, most of the time, she was right. And most of the time, my dad was right. You see what I'm saying? I didn't want to see it then. Of course, I had my friends in my ear, blase, blase. And of course, this was not a time of social media. But they were right. They were right. And then there were some times where I was right. But it's all about timing. It's all about communication. And it's all about really being able to, hey, Sting, to really have those hard conversations. Those hard conversations are something else, y'all. There are times when you're going to have some hard conversations, parent to child, especially as you all grow up. As your kids grow up, you know what I'm saying? They'll start remembering stuff and they'll start saying, Mama, you remember when blah, 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 blah. Then you get to see it from their perspective. See, as a parent and as an adult, it's like, oh, child, going on somewhere. But sometimes they do have valid points. Sometimes they do. You know what I'm saying? So you do have to listen and give them that ear and really, really be accountable for actions. And then sometimes you just don't know. You know what I'm saying? You just don't know. So, I just wanted to really say that because I see a lot of people using this as a personal attack situation, and that's not what it should be. I feel like someone should come out with the voice of reason and say, hey, we don't know the situation. It's not our business. But what we're going to do as people who are going to be supportive, we're going to be praying that everything works out. And I promise you, it will work out. It will. I promise you, as a person who has seen their parent get in those 90s, when you able to look back, you be like, oh, Lord, thank you. Thank you. Y'all, you brought me and mama through this argument. You brought us through this time when we were disagreeing about that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you really, really brought us through. And he will. But we, as the child and as the parent, we have to really work together. And sometimes we got to have a time where we cool off, where we separate. But when we come back together, we realize that the love outweighs the other stuff. You see what I'm saying? And I feel like that's what you need to lead with. Lead with the end in mind. How do you want to end this relationship? You or the child may not live forever. Okay? What is the end result? The end result is I feel like my mom wanted me. I know what my dad wanted because he was able to verbalize that to me and he was able to tell me. Okay? Sometimes my dad attitude, I'm going to tell y'all this. Sometimes if you had asked me, like in my 20s, I would have said, my dad don't care, blase, 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 blase. I remember going out to drink with some of my friends and I was talking about my father just doesn't care. He doesn't understand. He doesn't even give me the respect I deserve, blase, blase. And I had my drinking partners pumping me up, pumping me up, pumping me up. You need to tell him. You need to tell him, Lucinda. You need to go to him and verbalize that. Baby, I got all in my feelings and came. That's my auntie, y'all. Y'all know how she is. I hope she don't come knocking on this door. Because mama is asleep. Hold on, y'all. I'm going to have to... Let me go get this phone so I can call her. Ugh. I love her. Lord knows I do. But y'all know how she is. Hold on, y'all. I got to call her. Because she'll be done call the police. Hold on, y'all.
You must be on the phone.
I'm on the phone. What's up, Willie Mae?
I was just checking on you. You didn't get a chance to make it today.
I know y'all had a good service. My hip was hurt. My hip was hurting real bad yesterday, Willie Mae.
Yeah, you were doing too much lifting. You like how they want them down.
Yeah, but she is asleep right now. She had a good day yesterday. So the nurse came yesterday and she ended up being one of my sorority sisters. So hey, we gonna end up baby, she gonna end up giving us everything we need and some. So
That's
yep.
not a worker.
Yep.
But anyway, go ahead and talk to your your friend. I just wanted to call you back because we got to get more information about the Vacation Bible School.
Okay.
Because I know you interested in doing stuff like that. And that'll be a week for you to be out. I can come early in the morning, we get busy and straight, and you go on over there and be around with them children and enjoy yourself.
Yeah, and did you ask Al about me joining under that other name, that word I was telling you about?
I forgot. I forgot. It was something, it was communion, and I just didn't get a chance to get up there to him. But when he come over here most time during the week before we go to work, I'm gonna catch him and ask him for the word.
Oh, okay, okay.
Cause
And
he
then,
didn't
cause
get up there, the little girls and stuff really coming back to the choir. It's getting much better.
okay, okay. Well, see, once I join, I could get in the choir too. Then, so you can come
Yeah,
on
but
the.
still, you can just come in on the whatever they words you say.
Yeah, yep, yep,
Just be
yep.
active, temporary or whatever.
Okay, all right
I'll
then.
talk to your friend. Call me back.
All right, all right. Sorry, y'all. That's my auntie. Uh, so I'm a member of one church. Your grandma name Willie Mays. Baby, them Willie Mays don't play. You hear me? Baby, that's that Willie Mae honey. That Willie Mae, baby. I love me some Willie Mae honey. But so the church that I belong to, pretty much, it only got like, since the pandemic, and that's my mama's church. Chad, I don't even think 10 people go. So I've been going to this other church that my dad went to for years. Their church got more, and they got a younger minister that grew up with us, and they're trying to get back started. The kids are coming, and so y'all know that's my thing, right? So I want to start participating, singing in the choir and stuff, but I don't want to leave the other church because I'm kind of caught in the middle. I've always had that problem, being caught in the middle between my mom's and my dad's church. Okay, it's always been an issue. My mom wanted me at her church being active. My dad wanted me at his church being active. So there's a word that I can participate at my dad's church. I don't know what the word is. But you know how when you join the church, they say by letter, by Christian experience, by baptism, or whatever, whatever. But like when you move out of town and you don't want to move your membership from your home church, but you want to participate at another church, there's a word that you can join. And that's what I want to do at my dad's church right now because um, I have people over there that I know. They know my mom, of course. They knew my dad, and it's more youngsters over there, and it's more people. So that's where I want to participate. But anyway, that's what that was about. So yeah, but anyway, I went through that stage. I definitely went through that stage. And my dad's way of dealing with it was like, okay, I tell you this. Then when he broke down all he was doing for me, because see, a lot of times I took them for granted. I'm like, well, shoot, you supposed to buy me clothes. You supposed to pay my car insurance. You supposed to pay my other life insurance premium. You supposed to do this. You supposed to have one over here saved for me. You supposed to have this right here for me. You supposed to do that. But I had it all misconstrued, folks. You see what I'm saying? I was being privileged and being a brat. I didn't realize that. Well, yes, I did. Yes, I did. Let me take accountability. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. But I wanted it my way. I wanted it my way. Okay? And when my dad would put his foot down, like, no, or baby girl, it's not going to be that way. Then, of course, you know what I'm saying? I want to be in my feelings. Okay? Y'all, I had to really, really, and so, once he said no, and he let me get out there and bump my head a couple of times, then I was able to see it. You see what I'm saying? I was able to look back and be like, look, Dad, I'm sorry, I messed up. Here's what happened. You know what I'm saying? Thankfully, I was able to do that and really, really let him know how much I appreciated him before he left this earth. You see what I'm saying? And I think that's when you think about the end in mind as a child, We got to remember that there will be a time when our parents will no longer be with us. So you got to keep the end in mind. And when they're gone, that's when all of that hits you. It hits you like a ton of bricks. Okay? And so, oh my God, honey, when he passed, I was really, I was stronger than I thought. I was much stronger than I thought because I was able to say, "Ooh, I'm so glad, we were able to get past this, able to get past that, and so forth and so on." So, you know what I'm saying? Now, I'm not saying that everything your parents do, you have to agree with. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is in your communication, you got to be able to, and listen, not every parent is the same. Not every parent is a good parent. You see what I'm saying? That's a hard situation. Very hard situation. That's not my story, but for those who have that story, I child, I sympathize. You know what I'm saying? I sympathize. I was listening to Zay Zaba, and he was talking about how his dad was very accepting of him being gay. And honey, at one time in the black community, if your child was gay, baby, that was like a slap in the face. Oh my God. Oh my God. Just like at one time, if you got pregnant out of wedlock, that was the worst thing ever. If you didn't wear stockings to church, that was the worst thing ever. You see what I'm saying? But now things are just different. And so being a parent now, baby, it's more than dressing them up in cute little outfits. It's more than all this other stuff, taking pictures and posting it, baby. And it's a lot of, I feel like, as a community, we got to start using our resources and the family. I'm talking about family, not friends, but family. You know, uh, not always the grandmas, but let's start having some common sense, folks. Let's start giving some really good advice and not get in the middle of it. My dad didn't raise us when he passed. One of my 7 siblings went to his funeral. I didn't go. Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can have some very, very tarnished relationships. And sometimes you don't want to go because they ain't been in your life. See what I'm saying? See, now, if you haven't been in, if it's a father, I'll say this from my perspective. Every little girl would love to have their father in their life. But some of them, for whatever reason, they are not emotionally available. They're not financially available. And they don't care. I don't know if they don't care or if they just don't realize the impact of being a parent. And sometimes, honey, them jokers treat us as black girls like second class citizens, child. And sometimes the mamas treat us like that, child. I mean, y'all, it is tough. It is tough. Family situations are tough. All I can do is say, as the extended person in the family, I try to stay in my lane. And I'm gonna tell y'all something with my nephew and with my niece that I'm close to. It's different now. My niece, she does not make the best decisions, y'all, when it comes to men. And I love that girl, but her mother and her don't have a good relationship. But I try, when it comes to her mother, that's her mother. I had to develop this attitude that is not my mother. She had my niece. I love my niece. That's our relationship. I tried my best not to get in the middle of their mess. I have to almost slap myself a lot of times because my niece comes over here and she unloads. Okay? What her mother does is she goes to my niece's kids and talks about my niece, which is wrong. But I don't get into that. I would love to tell her that, but I can't get into that. You see what I'm saying? I'm in a rock and a hard place. So the only person that I can really, really talk to is my niece. You see what I'm saying? Even though I talk to her, do y'all think she take my doggone advice? Heck no. But now this is what I had to also learn. And it's hard. When I would give her advice, tell her things to do, and with my nephew, and when she wouldn't do them, at first, girl, I used to get an attitude. I used to get an attitude. I used to be wanting to pop my neck and see this why this happened. This why this happened. But you know what? That pushed her away. See, I'd rather for her to come to me and talk to me openly than to chastise her and have her not wanting to talk to me. So this is how I deal with my niece. I'm an ear. I'm a shoulder. When I had it, I gave financial support. But when I gave the financial support, I didn't look for it back, even though she would give it to me back. But I'm just saying I didn't look for it back. And I'm able to see her as my niece and not be biased, but I'm able to also tell her in a way that I don't offend her because, see, she's hot-headed, she's emotional, she's a single mother. Look, two master degrees, awesome educator, beautiful girl, but she doesn't make good decisions, guys. She does not make good decisions when it comes to men. You see what I'm saying? And she has 4 kids, okay? I love the children, but I have to realize that it's not my life. She's bought a home. She has issues with the home sometimes. You know what I'm saying? And I hate it. But, I'm not in the position to help her like I used to. But I am able to be a shoulder. And one thing she told me, she said, you know what, Auntie? She said, one thing about you, you never judge me. You always listen and you never judge me. And that's why I love you hands down. And see, I realized that because I did not want to ruin the relationship between us. So I have to check my emotions. Sometimes I be so pissed off at her, y'all. I promise you. Sometimes she'll come tell me stuff that she did, and she'll say, "I know you told me not to." Blase, blase, and I'll be so mad, but I don't show it right then. I'm talking about, girl, I be walking around here mad as hell, and then I call my auntie and I unload on her, and then she'll be like, "Well, you should tell her this, and you should tell her that." And I listen to my aunt, but I don't tell her in the way that she says to say it. You know what I'm saying? I wait till I calm down, and then I talk to her. You see what I'm saying? Because what do I want the end result to be between me and my niece? I want us to have a relationship to where she will tell me things. You see what I'm saying? Because if I come out the gate swinging, I'll push her away. And see, I don't want to do that, but at the same time, I'm not finna kiss her ass either now. I'm not gonna kiss her ass either. There has been times and we ain't talked in a couple of weeks, and guess what? I'm cool with that, sis. I'm cool with it. Because you know what? She going to end up calling auntie. She going to end up coming by here. We going to end up hugging and loving on each other. But we have times when we butt heads. Now, my nephew, he's a little bit, I'm going to tell you something. My nephew, for a long time, was easier to deal with. But then there have been some times when he ain't been easy to deal with, child. He's a whole nother character. He's a whole nother story. He's a whole nother story, child. But that's just the way, I try to deal with them. But of course, I'm not the mother. I'm not the father, so it's different. So as the auntie, you got to be neutral. You know what I'm saying? That's where those aunties and those uncles are so important, because they have to be neutral. They have to be able to check you, but they have to calm down and be able to talk to you with wisdom, with reason, and where you really understand what they're saying. So, you know, I don't know if that's good or what. He got with a woman who had 7 kids already. They call him dad. Oh, girl, they do that all the time. But his biological children call him by his first name. Uh-huh. They do that all the freaking time, Sting. They do that all the time. They'll go out and will totally ignore their kids, and then they'll get with someone else, and they will take care of this other woman kids. It's not even biologically theirs. And that causes a lot of animosity too. That causes a whole lot of animosity. Girl, family dynamics are very, very touchy situations. Very touchy. Very touchy. And I hate, that y'all had to deal with that, because no child no child deserves to be disregarded by their parent. That's a very, very hurting thing. And that causes you, as a people who grow up like that, sometimes end up doing the same thing. But I'm glad that, hold on. Let me see. Well, no, it's okay. Thought I heard some, child. Y'all know I had to look around. But yeah, I just had to share that today. I was like, on the YouTube streets, and I'm like, come on now. These people are really, really stretching this woman's, trying to exploit this woman's situation. And I know it's because they want to get their lick back and all this kind of stuff. But, I'm praying for strength. I'm praying for the family, because when situations like that, I just feel like, I just thank God for my aunts and my uncles and my extended family, who I was able to talk to, because when you're an adult child, a lot of times you feel like you cannot communicate your feelings to your parents. You know what I'm saying? You feel like they won't understand, or you feel like they're going to overreact, or it's going to be an argument. So you go to those aunts, you go to those uncles and stuff like that. The problem is, sometimes the aunts and the uncles are messy, and they try to draw a wedge between the children and the parent. So I don't know. It's a very, very hard thing. But I hate to see, and I don't want to see people trying to exploit and pit children against their parents, especially once the situation or whatever they think has happened has come to the internet. I just, no, no, no. I don't agree with that. And that's my opinion. You know what I'm saying? People may not agree with my opinion, but that is my opinion. You know what I'm saying? I know for a fact that things will work out. I know, because been there, done that. Been there, done that. Been there, done that. Been there, done that. Okay? And my parents were not perfect parents. They were not perfect parents at all. Okay? But it ended up working itself out. Thank God, as they aged, we were able to talk and kind of look back and say, this is what we went wrong. This is what we should have done. Blase, blase. Thankfully, now if something had happened where we had not had that closure in life, it would have been very, very painful. It would have been very, very painful. But my dad would always tell me, always start a relationship with the end in mind. Do I remember that, and do I listen to that advice he gave me all the time? No, no. And every time I don't do that, fucks up. He has told me that over and over again, and I could hear him. Yesterday when I was sharing my story with y'all, I heard him clear as day. Baby girl, whenever you have a relationship with anybody, start it with the end in mind. You see what I'm saying? So how do you want this relationship? Look, even if it's a girlfriend, how do you want that relationship to end? Do you want it to end on bad terms? Borrow money from them. Tell them your deep, dark secrets. Confide in them. Don't get to know them and rush to judgment and think they friends and, oh, we're going to be sisters forever, blah, blah, blah. Do not use your better judgment. Whenever I don't take that advice from Dad, when he said start every relationship with the end in mind, I fuck up. I do it all the time. And then I'm thinking, why is this person doing that? Well, come on, Lucinda. Where's your accountability? You know that you shouldn't trust people out the gate like that. You know you got to wait and go through something. And let me tell y'all this while I'm on the subject. You got to go through something with people. You know what I'm saying? You got to experience something with people in order to get to a certain point. Over yes thing, yes thing, yes thing, yes. And I'm going to tell you something about that. Them 20-year friendships. As women, and I'm going to tell you where my downfall is. My downfall is when people get busy, I get busy. I have a tendency to not reach out. You know what I'm saying? Like, if they get busy, I get busy. You know what I'm saying? I don't make the extra effort. They get busy. It doesn't mean that we're not still friends. You see what I'm saying? Then I go and try to start a new friendship with somebody else. And not to say that's wrong, but at the same time, well, if that other if Lucinda, if you're busy, the other person can be busy too. You see what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is I got to take responsibility for me, for my actions when things go wrong. You know what I'm saying? And everybody is not going to be my best friend. Your family, exactly. And that takes time to become family. I feel like now, sometimes I'll try to rush to be like, friends with somebody, to have that instant bond. But it takes time. It takes time. It takes time. You got to go through some happy days with somebody and see if they really going to stick with you. You got to go through some dark times with somebody to see if they're going to really stick with you. You got to go through some times of separation to see if y'all could come back together and it could be just like it was, like you never left. You see what I'm saying? That really, really, those things make you so much stronger. I think it builds character. I really do. Yes, you've been through some things. Listen, me and my friend that came over here the other day, I hadn't talked to her in a minute. We have been through some things, y'all. We went through a time where we did not speak for a whole freaking year. A whole year. I saw this girl every day at work. Y'all, that was the worst year of my life. I missed her. I missed the hell out of her. And we worked at the same schools thing. Oh, I missed a year out of her kids' life. But I was so puffed up because I had somebody else in my ear. It wasn't that other person's fault because I did not follow my dad's advice. What did he tell me? Start their friendship with the end in mind. What is the end result? This girl gonna stick with me through it all. I done been with her when her dad died. She been with me when my dad died. We done fell out. Her kids done grew up. they having kids, girl, and we still A1 day ones. And she have to call me on the carpet about some stuff. And I have to call her on the carpet about some stuff as well. But I can take it from her because I know she truly, truly loves me. You see what I'm saying? But we had to go through some things, you know. I'm not saying that you're not going to meet and make friendships on the internet. I'm not saying that, folks. What I'm saying is we got to start these things with the end in mind. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. And as we get to these 40s and 50s, we can look back and we can give advice. But a lot of time people say it's hate. It's not really hate. We're really giving them advice because we've actually been through it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad that you guys were able 2 years. Girl, I understand. I understand. But when we did, it was like we never stopped. Right. That's it. And that's a good friend too. That's a very good friend. So I wanted to give my 2 cents on what I see going on out here, y'all. I really, really did because I'm like, you know, which of course everybody who heard the live knew people were gonna run with it. And you know, saying, but you know, hey, you just gotta be reasonable, folks. You just gotta be reasonable. All I got to say is stay in your lane. And then, especially when you hear people who Lord, I don't even want to get into that. I'm not. Lucinda, don't do it. It's Sunday. Don't do it. 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 I'm not going to do it today's thing. That's for later on. I ain't going to be messy right now. I'm just going to end with this little, with just what I had to say. So, y'all, I'm going to end this live with saying a prayer for the family. I'm not even naming no names. I'm just going to say a prayer. And we're going to get on off of here. I hope that you guys listen. If there is a relationship out there that you do miss and that it is a valuable relationship out there that you do want to mend, don't let the sun go down without you reaching out to the person and letting them know what it is that hurt you. Okay? Be very, very clear about what hurt you. Be very clear about your boundaries. If it's worth saving, you may need to reach out. If it's not worth saving, go ahead. Let me go ahead and put you out of here. Go ahead and let that relationship go, okay? But it's not worth the sun going down, not doing your best, especially when I'm talking about family and those really good friends that are going to be there for you, okay? Don't let the sun go down without you reaching out and trying, okay? Please don't do that because you will forever, ever regret it. So we're going to end this with a prayer and we're going to have a good day today. So if you are near your phone, if you'll just reach your hand out to the phone, maybe just turn off everything quietly while I say this prayer. Let me turn this TV down. Father God, in the name of Jesus, we come to you right now, your humble servants, and we're asking for prayer for our families, all families under the sound of my voice, Lord. You know each and every family, you know each and every situation, and you know exactly what needs to be repaired. I'm asking you, Father, that you touch every heart of every family represented on this live, and that you are able to mend fences and that you're able to allow us to be accountable and forgive and let go. And Lord, we promise to forever give you the praise and the glory in your darling son's name. Amen. All right, guys. Thank you all for allowing me to give my 2 cents on the situation. I pray that you guys have a wonderful day. I'm sure I will see you guys later on these YouTube streets. And we'll talk a little bit more. Y'all have a good one. Bye.